What is up, my tricksters? It's your friendly neighborhood Yu-Gi-Oh! Superhero back again for another Fun Deck Friday. This has kind of been my long-form content because this ban list is kind of But, and I've got some personal stuff, so this is kind of all of the Yu-Gi-Oh! I have time for, unfortunately. Dang it. That's why you've been getting a lot of shorts lately. Speaking of things that have been a little different on this channel, I do have some announcements to make before we get any further into the video. We are going to be doing something a little different from this point going forward with deck profiles. What you guys are used to is that you get the intro with me and Frank, then you'll get the replay footage, and then you'll get the deck profile. The truth is, everybody just goes for the deck profile, and I've decided that I want to switch the placement. So you'll get the deck profile first, then you'll get the replay footage, and that will be for the contingent of you that want to see the deck in action and see if it can do anything. Let's just kind of let you that part of the video will give you guys the idea of how it works, because I've been seeing a lot of like live deck profiles where people will do test hands and they will like showcase the deck in action that way. But I talk about the combos as we go throughout the deck profiles. So if you're listening, you'll catch it, and then if you watch the replay footage, you'll see it. So I don't feel the need to do it that way. Maybe I would do it the way other YouTubers do it, when I actually do like a paper deck profile. But because I'm not doing a paper deck profile right now, I'm doing a lot of digital stuff because, you know, I'm kind of got my hands tied. So, yeah. Anyway, that's just the announcements. That's the change difference. You're still going to get all the other stuff. You're still going to be, if you go to my link tree, you're going to be able to find all the links to everywhere you can follow me and all that good jazz. So anyway, before we get to the deck profile, Frank, we're going to do the usual thing with Frank. He's going to give you let you know the gist on how you can support the channel, and then we're going to go straight into the deck profile. So let's go. Frank, take it away.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to show you how to support this channel, because if you don't do it, I'm going to put a Cyber Dragon in your hardware, and it's going to bite you every time you buy something that isn't from the spring store. You hear me? Now buy a shirt with my face on it. Here's how you're going to do that. You're going to come over here. You see this little black dot? You're going to click on it. And you see this? It's going to bring you to a white page. Okay, there it goes. Then it's going to bring you to a page. You see all this stuff? This one right here is the one you want to buy, because it's got my face on it. You might also be able to support this channel by, going and clicking in the description of any video and buying a sleeve from your playmats. But they don't have to, if they don't have my face on it, I'm gonna be mad about it.
Thank you, Frank. Please buy a t-shirt with his face on it. And let me know if there's something I should put out there as merch. Comment below. Alright. Let's cut to that deck profile. Alrighty, let's get into this deck profile. So this is obviously a Dino Rabbit deck if the title didn't give it away. So we're gonna go ahead and go over it. Megalomasher X. This is the updated Dino Rabbit deck. This is how I would play Dino Rabbit if I was gonna try to play that deck today. So we're still in the spirit of Dino Rabbit. As you guys can see, we still have a lot of like spells and traps over monsters, which is something that's kind of known for Dino Rabbit. Back in like 2012, it was very much 50-50, so I've decided to, in that spirit, try to keep things that way. But the only difference is we took out the Caboozles that are usually in this deck and the tour guide, because we don't really need it in the modern age. So we have the Megalomasher and the Sabersaurus. Sabersaurus used to be the big one, but that used to be back when it was Caboozles and Sabersaurus. So we took out that old the water hippo dinosaur and replaced it with Megalomasher X because it's got a little more bite to it. And then we're keeping the Sabersaurus because it's, classic. It still works. We also have Ultimate Under Tyranno in here because we do play a lot of dinosaurs still. We don't actually need it to win. We can win with it if we draw it, but like a lot of the stuff, we're doing a lot of negating and board breaking without it. But if we draw it, it's like drawing a Blackluster Soldier in the old school Chaos variants of it. So, yeah. Then we got the Pankratops, because, what deck is complete without Pankratops? My favorite monster right now. And then we got this weird monster that I think we could see some more play if dinosaurs evolve in a certain way. But this card is Submarine Tour Ride, which is kind of funny because we took out Tour Guide. Instead, I'm giving you a tour ride. Anyway, sorry, I just found that funny that its name is Tour Ride. And we took out the tour guide from the original build, so that's just kind of a little funny afterthought that I noticed. But basically what this dinosaur does is that you can special summon it if you control a normal monster. So we can combo it with Rescue Rabbit and throw an extra beat stick out there if we want to. Or it could be a card we could use to access our link monsters if necessary, or if we, just need to throw some monsters out there to fight, like if we don't have the rabbit and we draw the vanillas, because we are playing a lot of it, so it is kind of a thing you have to think about. So this card can extend further and kind of makes those vanillas less dead by giving you more bodies to fight with. Then we got our Rescue Rabbit. This is our bread and butter monster. You draw this, you win. Yeah, as long as you don't get ashed. But, ash is the only thing stopping this, and I still hate it, but we got to play it too. Honestly, I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Would be better if ash didn't exist, but, Konami didn't decide to consult any players when it came to that. But anyway, that's a video for another day. Then we got our board breakers, Lightning Storm, because we got a lot of cards in here going first, but because of the way the format is, you do have to play cards that allow you to play going second. And that is where cards like Lightning Storm come into play. Because this card can, blow up back row, can blow up front row. It's just kind of whatever you need. And I figured since it's Fun Deck Friday, we're just having fun. We're not playing meta decks. We're just playing them as, competitively viable as they can, just for the lulz on Edo Pro. And then so we got your triple Lightning Storm. Then we got our Dark Ruler. This is like to help us beat Splight, and it does come up. So there you go. Monster Reborn. It's in the classic builds. So I kind of kept it, but you don't have to play it. It's iffy, in my opinion. Call by the Grave, you kind of need this card, and you'll also need Nobleman and Crossout, or Crossout Designator, excuse me. You'll need these cards because you're going to need ways to protect the rabbit. Make sure that it goes off, and this is the best way to do it, because Ash Blossom exists, and it kind of kills monsters like Rescue Rabbit. So these cards are kind of needed to protect that, so you can get to your actual plays and play your dinosaurs. Then we got a little paleo engine here. We're playing Dynamiscus and Candina, and because when trap cards get flipped, these guys come out, which will allow us to go into certain things in our extra deck. Excuse me. And they'll count as normal monsters for the tour ride. So that way, because we can special summon it. And with Dynamiscus, and because we're playing so many vanilla monsters in the tour ride here, we do have a lot of potential brick cards. So the payment for Dynamiscus is kind of a moot point, because you're probably not going to be able to use too much. Like if you draw a Sabersaurus, a Megalomaster, you're probably only going to get to play one or the other, and you might as well just use the other as fodder for this. So, and this kind of can also help you out with the Mystic Mind matchup or random monsters, that kind of thing. Same with this one. Then we got our strikes, negate summons, negate special, negate effects. It's useful. Judgment, more negation. Protecting the cards we actually want to go into with our extra deck. So in our extra, I got Track Black, because the way I look at it is, if you're playing anything that has multi-attackers in the deck and you're playing Dark Ruler no more, you should have Track Black in there. So because we are playing Ultimate Conductor Tyranno and Dark Ruler, we're playing Track Black, just because it's an opportunity. But I've literally, every time I've had that combo available to me, it's like, oh look, I just drew 5 cards for no reason. And then we got Nightmare Phoenix, back row hate. And the reason I chose Nightmare Phoenix over something like Tornado Dragon, because this deck is very Xyz based, is because Nightmare Phoenix can be used whether I draw a vanilla and say the submarine here. So it's that was the advantage there. So throw it out there. Then we got the Totally Awesome, which we can hard make with our Paleozoics. But we're probably not going to make it that way. But it's just, if the opportunity presents itself, why wouldn't we? Then we got our Timeless. This is Draw Power. Also can enable an OTK with our Tyranno. Abyss Dweller, because sometimes if we're up against tier elements, turn off their whole field. Excuse me, their whole graveyard. I mean, then we got Daguso Emerald, flyback resources if necessary, as well as can be a monster born for the vanillas. I don't remember why Downard is in here. That was probably from a previous build. There's room in here. You can take the Downard out if you don't want to. That's not supposed to be in here. Oh well. Shows you how often I went into it in all of the different builds I tried. I didn't go into it so often I forgot it was there. Baguska, this is a good stall card. We need this card sometimes for certain matchups. Then we got the classic Logia and Dulka. You do want these guys in here. I mean, Dulka is a double negate. Logia can negate, is literally Solemn Judgment on legs. And then we got a Bahamut Shark. Because if we use 2 Megalomashers, then we also have Totally Awesome. And that can be like a double negate like Logia. Excuse me, like Dulka, I mean. As well as something that we can use to overlay into and go into something like Zeus here. We also have the Vespertino. This is another card that we can use like for certain cards. Because, you know, when the Bahamuts, the Logia, the Dulka are out of fodder, they're not really useful otherwise. So we turn them, well, maybe not Bahamut, but the other two, Logia and Dulka, when they're out of materials, we can just slap over the Vespertino here, and now we have a bigger monster to swing with, and if this guy dies, we get a monster back, and that can be relevant. And then we have our Evolzar Solda, this is probably the only deck that can actually pull this off because you have 2 level 6 dinos that you can play. Now you can't play them in the same turn, but if this one survives and you can throw another one out there because you have vanillas, then cool, you can make this guy, and then you can climb into this guy, and then there'd be another way to climb into Zeus. This guy, I believe he only negates the summons, and he cannot be destroyed by card effects while he has Xyz material. So that's kind of interesting that we have a build that can play all 3 of the Evolzar dragons. So that's kind of funny. And then of course, like I said, you got the Thunder Charger in here just to slap over this guy, and you can make Zeus from there. It's just another way to make Zeus, and I think that's relevant. So anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think of in the comments below of this fun deck. I hope you guys find it amusing and interesting, and if you like what you see, make sure you like and subscribe. I'm gonna let you guys enjoy the replay footage, and I'll see you next time. Peace.